Hello friends, welcome! We are going to make something that is delicious today. And oh my word, if you love bread, like yeasty bread, you are going to love this. And the beauty of this is that it's something that you can do before you go to bed at night, and then you're going to get to enjoy it in the morning. And I'm telling you, you're going to love it. What we're going to start with is some frozen Bridgeford rolls. And I have let them thaw out just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and take them out of the package here. There we go. Alrighty. And then they come like this in these little dough pockets, which is a roll. I'm going to cut each one of these in half. So that's what we're going to start out doing. It's just cutting them in half. And this is a overnight butterscotch pull apart little cinnamon goodness, okay? Let's just get all these cut up real fast here. Because once you start dipping them, your hands are going to get messed up. I'll leave that one. That one's kind of small. There's nothing like yeast bread. Love it. Okay, so we have all these little pats of goodness, which is the rolls that I've cut in half, okay? And I have sprayed my 10-inch bundt pan with Pam cooking spray. And then in the bottom of this pan, I'm going to sprinkle 1 cup of chopped pecans. Okay, so I'm just going to put those around the bottom. So now what I'm going to do is I have a Ziploc bag and I am putting in 1 cup of brown sugar. So just dumping that in my bag. And then I have 1 package of the Butterscotch cook and serve pudding. Okay, this is, I think, the 3.5 ounce. It's super, super important. Do not use instant butterscotch pudding. It won't work. You have to have the cook and serve, okay? So I'm using 1 3.5 ounce box of cook and serve butterscotch Jello pudding. And it doesn't matter what brand you use as long as it's the cook and serve, not instant. And I'm just going to add this to our brown sugar in this bag. So we're going to put all that happy goodness in there. Okay, so there we go. And then I am going to add 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon to this bag as well. So this is 1/2 teaspoon. And yes, I am being generous because, you know, we like things that are cinnamony. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm adding that to my bag. And then what I'm going to do now is just kind of shake this bag together to get all of these ingredients incorporated. Just so that when I toss my rolls in here, they're going to get, all of them are going to get some of this goodness that we've mixed together. So let me get the air out of here. Okay. And I just kind of want to tell it visually looks like, okay, I mean, it doesn't matter because all this is going to end up, you know, cooking together, baking together. That looks good to me. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip these little pockets of goodness in the butter, and then I'm just going to put them right into the bag. Oop, I didn't need to dip that all the way in there, I don't think. Okay, because what we're going to do is any butter that we have left over, we're actually just going to pour over the top of this anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to toss all these little guys in here, just coating them with the butter. And then what's going to happen is this is going to set up and rise overnight so that you can bake it in the oven the next morning. And you want to let it rise about 8 hours. And then you're going to cook it in a 350-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes until it's golden brown. But just a reminder, when you put it in the oven, you're going to want to make sure that you put a cookie sheet underneath it because the bread's going to rise and then you've got the butter in it, you know, recipe for disaster with all that butter in your oven. So make sure you put a cookie sheet underneath your pan so that the butter doesn't go in your oven. Okay, so here we go. Look at that. So I'm just going to lay these all around my pan on top of the pecans. And as you take them out of the bag, if they've kind of stuck together and you see some parts on it that aren't covered with the dry mixture, just separate them and then coat them and then just place them in your pan. This is great for Thanksgiving morning or Christmas morning, just to have something that is a special little treat to have with coffee while everybody's opening their presents as you're waiting for your big meal later on. So now I'm going to do the next batch here. Okay, just a few more. Okay, so we're going to put the last of them in here. And you want to make sure they're all coated really good. Some of them stuck together, so I'm just rolling them around in here to make sure that they're all covered in goodness. And then you just kind of want to space it in your pan so it's kind of even all the way around. So you don't have one side that raises up higher than another. I don't know, I think maybe like that. Okay, so I have all this goodness and I have that goodness. So now I'm going to pour the rest of this butter in this pan. And I'm just going to spread it all around. There we go. And then all of this goodness is going in this pan too. Okay, so just kind of sprinkle that around the entire ring. You want all that stuff going in there. And that's going to make a nice little gooey butterscotch caramel glaze that will be all over this. So, so good. So I'm just going to kind of spread that out. Here is our Butterscotch overnight pull apart roll. So I'm just going to lightly cover this with plastic wrap, just like that. I'm not going to pull it down over the sides because as it rises up, I want it to just lift. Woo! I just want it to lift off, and it will. So now I'm just going to leave this sitting, and you could just put it overnight in your oven just to sit there and let it rise in your oven or on your countertop, whatever you prefer. And then in the morning, we're going to have some goodness. I can't wait. And remember, make sure you put this on a cookie sheet. Bake it in a 350-degree preheated oven for 25 to 30 minutes or until golden brown.